This Green Bay Packers betting preview edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast brought to you by Circus Sports. Circus Sports is giving away $14 million this NFL season. Sign up in Vegas and play from anywhere. Get all the info over at circusports.com. We're also brought to you by our Patreon. Score exclusive perks, content, and contests, including our NFL wins total contest with a $1,000 prize. Join today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon.
Hey, this is Larry the Cable Guy, and you're listening to SGPN. Let her run and get her done.
Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer? Oh, hit the wrong button there. Kramer dog.
I'm so ready and so in it right now. I just realized that for those who are paying attention, they will not see a wardrobe change from Real Money Kramer for the second show.
No,
the
back to back two-a-days. This is actually like two-a-days because again, in two-a-days in football, back when I was playing,
actually, you know what?
You had to put on the same sweaty, gross uniform that you had earlier on in the day. That was when it was really bad. Like when it was hot, humid, you're pushing a sled uphill, drinking out of a hose. And to the point where like the sweaty jersey you would hang up in your locker room, go get lunch and, watch some film review.
Dry.
And it would be hard. It would dry, but it would be like hard, and you could like bend it like a board.
Yeah, the bag of the stuff that never fully dried was also really gross. That was more of a wrestling team situation. But yeah, drinking from the hose. You imagine all the essays we'd have on microbiology and contaminants in the water system if we drank from the hose still today. You know what, Sean?
Yes.
I am gonna go get. I am gonna go because we're gonna do this right. Two-a-days. I'm gonna go hit the hose real quick.
Okay.
You talk about some stuff, and then and then we'll
I will talk about some stuff. We are previewing the Green Bay Packers. Trevor in the YouTube chat's fired up. Go Pack, go! YouTube.com/Sports Gambling Podcast. Smash that subscribe button. Get involved. Kyle P, of course, Viking fans. He's a Viking fan. 4-13. He's predicting Jordan Love sucks. Jair Alexander, most overrated cornerback in the league. Oh, that is a spicy take if I ever heard one. We just finished up our Carolina Panthers preview. Of course, this is where we got this amazing drop from Kramer. And
that's the Carolina Panthers this year.
That is the Carolina Panthers. That kitty has claws. Jordan Love, Utah State soaker. Matty Ice says in the YouTube chat, the chat is lit. And again, if you're in the chat, we encourage you also to take on corporate gambling. Sign up for our Patreon, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. Exclusive. We got some exclusive merch on the way. Bonus ad-free episodes, SGP stories, exclusive contests, weekly ones, and we just added a NFL win totals contest for the patrons. $1,000 up for grabs. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. Get involved. The chat is fired up, Ryan. This Green Bay Packers team is pretty interesting.
Polarizing.
Polarizing. Obviously, a very different team from the 2020 team, and we'll take a look at what they did. 8-9 straight up, 8-9 ATS. The win total was at a whopping 11. Whoop. Easily cashed the under there. We both had the over. You were super high on the Pack, 14-3. I was also high, 12-5. Just they had 3 years in a row where they won 13 games, and it was tough to figure out a scenario where they wouldn't do it again, but they figured it out. Aaron Rodgers regressed a little bit, pouty a little bit. What was your big takeaway as to why they didn't get over that 11 win and kind of floundered?
I mean, couple things, right? Like one, and which by the way,
and no Devontae Adams
got obviously. The throwback Sports Gambling Podcast shirt on. So in the merch store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com. I think you have a situation where, Sean, how many times in NFL history has a team won 13 games 3 straight years?
Never. First time.
Well, one time.
Oh, well, yes, that was the only time.
So perhaps there was some regression built in. Perhaps they were just sitting in a place that they weren't going to be able to repeat, or perhaps this was the chapter in the book where our hero faces a little bit of internal adversity and struggle because his heart is connected to Nathaniel Hackett's. And
Aaron Rodgers clearly has the back of Nathaniel Hackett. Even said to Sean Payton, "Keep my coach's name out of your mouth." Right out of like a reality show.
Could it be that those two hearts were one, and last year's struggle were not just Aaron Rodgers but Nathaniel Hackett's? And oh, by the way,
keep going, Ryan.
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our league.
Aaron, he kept teasing, he kept taunting the Green Bay Packers. Finally, he made a clean split for New York. Oh, and what's this? His long lost jilted lover, Nathaniel Hackett, meeting him in the Big Apple. Say it ain't so, A-Rod. Yeah, he kind of, if you're a Packers fan, it seemed like they were kind of wanting to get rid of him for the past couple of years. Once they lost that home playoff game to the 49ers, felt like fans were kind of out on Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, football is just like anything else. When you're doing anything on the edge and at the top level, if you're not in it 110%, which obviously Aaron Rodgers wasn't. Like the Pat McAfee appearances became famous because he wasn't okay, because he was clearly needing this therapy where he would speak to the masses every week and question things and show us all that he too, like us, wonders why all the questions aren't answered with certain topics. And I think obviously he looks healthier, although he does seem to have aged a bunch.
Did lose some weight, but when you're older, losing weight is obviously good, but it does kind of make you look old.
Tom Brady had the same problem, like skinny in the chin.
See, I don't think Aaron Rodgers got any like the face stuff or the weird plastic surgery. Yeah.
I believe that he's organic and he looks like a man who's enjoyed a psychedelic or two. It's the certain look of the bags in the eyes.
Yes.
But I do think some of the story of the Green Bay Packers of last year has to be that Aaron Rodgers finally, he wanted out, and obviously he wasn't putting 110% forward.
No, and interesting. I mean, they're
also ran into some tough teams like the New York Football Giants.
Their Pythag wins were 8.5, estimated wins 7.9, so kind of on schedule there. Defensive DVOA 20th, offensive DVOA 11. So they were the 12th ranked team DVOA. It wasn't a complete bottoming out, and it did feel like, going into that last week against the Detroit Lions, they had a chance to get into the playoffs, and you kept thinking like, all right, when are they going to turn it on? When are they going to go make this run? And they just never did.
Yeah, they were a good rushing offense, and they were a good pass defense. They just couldn't stop the run.
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers, quite frankly, the numbers will tell you, EPA and those types of numbers will say he was a bottom half quarterback last year. So do we have some addition by subtraction?
Wow.
Ooh.
Well, and again, he was running his own thing. Aaron Rodgers notorious for not liking pre-snap motion
or anything that isn't Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah, he's very particular. Now, maybe I think if you're high on the Packers, if you're a Packers fan, you say, "Oh, Jordan Love drops in, and he's gonna do the Matt LaFleur system right. He's gonna play within the system." He's gonna shine where Aaron Rodgers, maybe struggled and tried to force too much. These young receiving core, Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, really okay rookie years, but they, really could go anywhere with those two, right? Like they could take a massive leap, they could crater. It's really going to come down to Jordan Love, and the sample size on Jordan Love is so incredibly small. 83 career passes for Jordan Love. He, of course, came in mop up duty against the Eagles when they were getting their ass kicked by the Eagles. Had some moments there where he looked good, and then played a pretty bad game as a starter against the Chiefs. They ended up losing 13-7. He covered the spread, so he is undefeated against the spread.
Is it worth noting that it was an Aaron Rodgers COVID situation, so maybe not as much preparation as a normal injury? Not to give him a crutch, but I do think it always tough to judge a guy on a single performance, because we know there are certain quarterbacks that are just excellent in that role, like the Ryan Fitzpatricks of the world, the Taylor Heinekes, but Maybe Jordan Love's different. Maybe another season.
I mean, really, it's just like Jordan Love is a massive question mark.
Yeah.
And if you're super high or super low on him, it's tough to. You're just going back to his college evaluation. You really can't say.
Which, by the way,
even not even a ton of preseason stuff.
Quick update: the old tweet from 2022, February 12th at 12:02 a.m. local time in Salt Lake City, Utah. Interesting timing. Quote: "We're going to crack down on soaking." This is coming from the Utah State
really
church legislature. I don't know if this is a joke or real, but
is it from Butt Crack Sports?
No. That's the @U church legislature. It looks. I mean, it seems real. If it's a troll account, there's a lot of effort being put into this.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Love, again, massive unknown. He's not necessarily a key addition, but it's really what their season's going to come down. You mentioned the Packers struggle stopping the run, in particular struggling against running quarterbacks like your Vanilla Vic, like Jalen Hurts. Running quarterbacks had a 68% success rate against the Packers defense. It's
cool,
insane.
It's cool though. They got rid of the defensive coordinator, so that shouldn't be a big deal. Oh wait, no, they kept him.
No, they kept him.
Oh wow. You want a fun
back-to-back seasons where they were 31st in run defense. I mean, I know some of it's talent, but a lot of that to me is scheme. But again, on the positive side, like their offensive line's pretty good. Bakhtiari finally got healthy.
But isn't this like the too cute like Brandon Staley? Let him run because that's more inefficient than passing, and it gets to this point where you've let them run too much.
You saw what the Chargers I felt like had a similar strategy.
But in theory, that should be the easier thing to solve.
Yeah,
I would think. I don't know. Anything else from last year?
No, I got
They're
some
healthy.
stuff.
Do we highlight how healthy they were last year?
Pretty healthy. Yeah. They were also just kind of diving in on the defense, 26 in defensive EPA per play last year. They disappointed as a favorite, 4 and 5 straight up in games where they were favored by 4 points or more. Again, that kind of just speaks to Aaron Rodgers being out of sync, not wanting to work with these new receivers after losing his binky. What do you think pissed him off more, losing Nathaniel Hackett or losing Devontae Adams? What, or not his emotions, but like, what do you think impacted him more?
Well, obviously Devontae Adams. I mean, Nathaniel Hackett. Yeah. We're gonna find out after his career is done. There's more to the story, but yeah, I think obviously Devontae Adams. Do you want a Joe Barry nugget? Since we were just talking about him, yeah, his father-in-law, Rod Marinelli.
Ooh,
did you know?
Did not know that.
Okay,
great little nugget. Yeah, let's bring up the talk a little roster here before we talk. Before we get to the schedule there and odds, again, obviously Green Bay not a big free agent or trade team. Just
look at all those free agents.
Tarvarius Moore bringing in, but the draft pick, Lucas Van Ness. We'll see. Camp reports are high. He's dominating. Luke Musgrave, who I really like.
Oh yeah,
think he's a
first
super
touchdown
athletic
guy.
Yeah, and usually I'm not. Well, I have been, but I'm trying to contain myself when it comes to getting excited for rookie tight ends.
Why?
I'm making the exception with Luke Musgrave because he's gonna be their starting tight end and gonna get a ton of snaps. Jaden Reed in the middle rounds, their receiver, and Sean Clifford, who seemingly has the second quarterback job.
He's older than Jordan Love. Picked up that nugget.
Did lose Robert Tonyan, old Bobby Tonyan, Mercedes Lewis.
You're just gonna talk
Mason
over that?
Crosby. I think actually, we joke, but Mason Crosby was pretty reliable.
You can't lose great kickers like that and assume everything's gonna be all right. Sean Clifford is older than Jordan Love.
Well, Mason Crosby also. I mean, you're playing in Lambeau, so having a cold weather kicker.
Do you remember the Bears
who
and
can
Robbie
hit
Gould?
81% of his field goals.
Do we not remember what happened to Robbie Gould?
Yeah,
and the Bears. All right.
I mean, he was 25 for 29 last year. Why would you get 86%? Why are you getting rid of this guy? I don't get it. Did miss 2 extra points, but that's kind of par for the course now in the NFL.
If we could put the graphic, the takeaway for me here is that like drafting these tight ends.
And they drafted 2 tight ends.
Looking at again, this is
Tucker Kraft is the other one.
Yeah, this is a team that 100% is going to want to run the ball. This is a nugget. It's not really. It's more reflective than it is talking forward. But Matt LaFleur's offensive pace has been 28th, 32nd,
Super
32nd,
slow.
and 31st with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So I wonder.
But also, like, I think to his credit, like if you have Jordan Love, I think that's how
I'm not saying it as a negative.
No, I'm saying I think that is good to play that pace.
So I think, adding these tight ends, I think stylistically,
A lot of 12 personnel. I would predict.
Yeah, feels like the weakness of the team are the outside receivers. So why not limit how many you're putting on the field? I'm certainly going to be intrigued. Like if Aaron Jones becomes the value this year, and I missed out drafting having 45% in best ball, I'm going to be really bummed out. All right, Sean, do you want to do a read and bring on our guest?
Yes, Ryan. No, listen to that noise. It means the NFL is right around the corner. Favorite part of the NFL, signing up for the Circa Sports Contest, the Circa Millions, Circa Survivor, $14 million up for grabs, and a giant blue jacket. Awesome jacket. Imagine wearing the awesome blue blazer while holding a giant check in Las Vegas. To me, that is truly the American dream. And you do it by picking NFL games? Come on, what if this is your year? What if you get hot? You can't afford not to sign up for Circa Millions and Circa Survivor. Sign up in Las Vegas, play from anywhere. Come out and say hi to us. We'll be at the Circa August 24th through the 26th for the Ultimate Survivor Weekend. Bunch of fun, awesome events for people signing up for the contest, discounts on rooms. They got it all. And again, head over to circasports.com. Circasports.com, $14 million guarantee. Let's go.
We will make your first week picks.
Yeah, if you need help. We're not going to give everyone the same picks because one of the guys will go 5-0, and then it will be gods to him, Ryan.
Gods. All right.
Joining us on the line from the research team, Mr. TJ Sunstein. What's happening, TJ?
What's going on, fellas? How we doing today?
TJ is on mute. There you go. Yeah. Power and throw. I like it. What's happening, TJ?
I am good. I had a whole monologue started for this team, and I'm glad you guys hit on so many points. But the biggest takeaway is the amount of variance that you're going to see from the Green Bay Football Packers in this coming year, and it's going to be a wide range that we're going to see. And I'm looking at these comments coming in, and it's funny to read them through, saying that the Packers are going to take a step back from last year to this upcoming year. But let's not forget that these Packers have underachieved since 2010, when it's been Super Bowl and bust, and Rodgers is leaving town with one ring right now. So we are.
So now, as a Packers fan, what's the relationship with Aaron Rodgers? I know now it's like, get this guy out of here.
Fuck him.
But is he going to come back? Or are they going to have Aaron Rodgers Day? I mean, he won a ton of games, but to your point, you're saying only one ring. It does feel like slightly disappointing, right?
It is slightly disappointing. I mean, you're going through the whole span of my life now with Hall of Fame quarterbacks. And with the amount of MVPs, these guys should have more hardware as a team, not just individuals. And it's kind of frustrating to see what they haven't surrounded the Packers with on offense the last couple of years. We're still banging the table for these wide receivers, and we finally get some weapons this year to surround Rodgers, and he's gone. So we put some more on the table offensively to make that transition as smooth as possible for Jordan Love. And you guys mentioned the two tight end sets that are upcoming, and the weakest part of the offense being the outside wide receivers. The relationship with Rodgers has to be good. The guy's an all-time player. He left town. Everybody seems to leave Green Bay bitter. But they always come back and bring the honor.
It's like this weird thing where they talk about leaving. I guess it's everyone in a small town. You talk about leaving for so long, and then eventually one day you actually head out. But
wait, I got a question on that topic.
Sure.
Fuck, marry, kill.
Ooh.
Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love.
Wow.
No way I'm fucking Brett Favre.
I guess you got to fuck Jordan Love because you don't know what the long-term relationship's like.
Yeah, you don't want to be tied to him long-term.
I like
you marry Rodgers and you got to kill Favre. just because he has the painkillers in the background.
Yeah. I was gonna say you marry Favre because you know that guy's an earner. I mean, he's figuring out ways to skim left and right for to get his dog. When I heard about that story, my first reaction was like, wow, Brett Favre, great father. My dad would never commit welfare fraud to help build a stadium for my youth athletics.
I mean, listen, Aaron Rodgers too. You pack up the picnic basket, you get a little Pinot in there, some psychedelics, and some cheese.
Very different characters on the spectrum there.
Sorry,
now TJ, I've been super excited about Luke Musgrave, the tight end.
Beavers.
What is the news out of camp? Has he been involved a bunch? Give us some like fun camp reports because I'm sure you're following as a big fan of the pack. What's been jumping out so far here early in camp?
Well, you start with the offense because that's where all the focus is. Jordan Love has had his bad days, which are highlighted on Twitter, and then he has his great days, which are highlighted on Twitter. So it's kind of funny to see what is kind of going to be symbolic of the whole entire season coming up is that everything that Jordan Love is going to be under a microscope, whether it's good or bad, just because he's replacing it. But he's got to progress and he's got to make throws. And this core around them is young and they have to grow together. Luke Musgrave is an exciting prospect, Sean. I mean, the amount of notes that you asked me specifically for him was kind of creepy. With the tight end class that came out, it's kind of exciting to see the Packers get two of the top guys to do their two tight end sets, which we haven't really seen fun, productive tight end plays since Jermichael Finley, and that offense was top tier. Just spreading the ball around, having a playmaker at tight end. Mercedes Lewis is probably turning 55 this year. He was on the team for the last couple of years.
Insane, he was still in the league. Yeah, I think I was like dabbling with some anytime touchdown, and I feel like he got some targets in the red zone.
Sounded like TJ saying Bobby Tunyon and Mercedes Lewis is not a fun combo at tight end.
Bobby Tunyon did have 3 touchdowns in one game, so a tight end who can do that always a soft spot in my heart. Now we got to get the take. Jordan Love, are you in? Are you not in? Where are you with Jordan Love? Like if you,
he fucked him.
That's true.
A little bit.
But I mean, you that's the hand you're dealt for this season. But what's your biggest concern, and what are you most optimistic about Jordan Love this season?
I guess they're kind of one and the same because I hope that he's more of a game manager than anything else. We were looking at this team last year a couple of times during the season, and Kramer could attest to this too, watching that Giants game where they just refused to run the ball in key situations. And that was very, very frustrating. The first half, I'm not sure why Aaron Jones wasn't featured.
Oh my God. It's so
more
annoying.
Prominently in the first half. It's kind of like I don't know if it was a Rodgers thing. I don't know if it's a floor thing. I don't know if it's a missing Hackett thing. I don't know if it's because Devontae was gone. There was more questions last year than there are coming into this year, I think. They learned how to live life without Devontae, and it wasn't pretty. Now you have a quarterback who is more trusting of LaFleur, for better or worse, whatever that may be. I think I have to be in on him.
Nice.
But I think that LaFleur has to manage him as more of a game manager. You look kind of like an Alex Smith guy. Spread the ball around. Don't do too much.
That's a very good comparison.
Get those 14, 15 play drives and shorten the game and rely on your running backs through an offensive line who's coming in pretty much as a cohesive unit again. And then both their tackles that combined last year gave up 1 sack. So that's with Aaron Rodgers holding the ball forever. So I have to be in. Am I optimistic that he's going to win an MVP one day? Probably not. And that's completely fine. But as long as they stay true to running the ball, that's really what I care about, and watching Jordan Love progress throughout the season.
That's one of my nuggets, is that the O-line, the 5 starters are coming back. We always like that. They were second lowest.
Knock on wood, Bakhtiari's health holds out.
I mean, but he missed a bunch of games last year. They were still the second lowest pressure rate. They were still, like we mentioned earlier, top 10 rushing and a bunch of rushing metrics. And so, yeah, I mean, we've always said that LaFleur wants to run the ball more, and it's always been accommodating for Aaron Rodgers because when you have when you have an elite quarterback, you're supposed to try to win Super Bowls. But now that they don't have the elite quarterback, and we know they're going to run a slow paced offense that's probably going to grind it out. We're probably going to see a lot of extra linemen, a lot of extra tight ends. Aaron Jones could be a stud. I mean, there were games where he had like 2 or 3 first half carries. It made no sense. So yeah, I hate that I found my way onto this island, but I thought I was going to be in on the Packers, then I was out on the Packers. We talked about how maybe you just play the alt lines both ways because there's so much variance, like you pointed out. I love that he used variance. That's a way that you can be in on your team without like flat out picking them to go 12-5 like I did with the Giants. I do have a couple nuggets on this team that concerns me.
Oh, okay.
Lucas Van Ness.
Yeah.
All right. We may have a situation where we're behind enemy lines. He's dating Frankie Komet. You may recognize that last name.
Cole Komet's sister.
Cole Komet's
what
sister.
What the hell?
Hello. No conflict of interest.
He's one
there.
of those guys who will get penetration.
It gets better. It gets better. Sean Clifford is also a Chicago guy.
Really?
Bears fan. Oh, that's the other thing. Van Ness, a Bears fan. These guys are Bears fans. What do we?
They're typical Midwest guys.
They just what do they baptize them in some lake up near Green Bay, I assume, before they wash that filth off. That's all I got. I like them because I think the offensive line coming back and them certainly going to be one of the slower paced teams to lead the league, probably in carries as a team. Jordan Love can make a throw or two. Yeah,
no, I mean, I think the way it doesn't work for the Packers is if they can't slow down teams.
The defense
with the
can't
run
stop.
Yeah, I think that's really it. I mean, I'm feeling confident in LaFleur's ability to, with the skill players they have, draw up an easy enough offense for him to.
Was it LaFleur or Rodgers?
Yeah, and I guess we're gonna find out. I think you can put Jordan Love in decent enough situations. So I think that's why you can be kind of casually optimistic here. And their schedule 14th easiest based off win total, which is like middle of the road. But the Chiefs are the only Packers opponent in the top 9 of Super Bowl odds.
Whoa.
And they face the easiest schedule based off of pass rush. So I think between the offensive line being pretty decent, not facing a ton of elite pass rushers, Jordan Love should have some time to make some throws in that offense.
Yeah, I mean, another fun nugget on that they don't play anyone. First playoff team they play is Week 8 against the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean,
which is the Vikings? Like
paper tigers. All right, so let's bring up the odds here. Talk about this Green Bay Packers team. Win total set at 7.5. Make playoffs +180. Miss playoffs -188. Division 4-1. Conference 30-1. Super Bowl 65-1.
I mean, it's like they are an interesting team because the NFC is, I feel, pretty wide open at the bottom. But it's like, man, these futures. Are you really playing conference or Super Bowl with this team?
No, because I think they're to TJ's point. I don't think they have that. I think they can win some games. I think they could. The ceiling would be on this team 11-6. But I think the more we talk about it, I don't think the floor is rock bottom on this team because of their offensive line. Because of their pass defense, because I do think LaFleur is a talented enough head coach. I do think they have an ability to run the ball. So I think their floor is like 6 games.
I'd also point to the fact and shout out to Warren Sharp for all of the too much visualization in his guide. But I mean, honestly, a little bit of a headache if you try to read it. But there's some graphs in there that are fun, specifically when they show the rank of defensive rush and pass efficiency by week. So you essentially see the schedule visualized at how difficult it's going to be. They have a very easy projected schedule difficulty against the pass and the run, but notably the pass, which means that Jordan Love, new quarterback, might
you're the least experienced guy on the team that's leading your team.
I mean, just think: Bears, Falcons, Lions, and Browns all are in their first forward. So
TJ,
we'll get,
mojo check on Jordan Love. Does he have swag? Is he considered a dog? Are veterans talking him up? Are guys buying in? Is there is there some old vet that goes, you know what? I saw him out here and he was leading the team and guys are buying in. Are there any sort of that buzz around Jordan Love?
I think he's relatively quiet,
Uh-oh.
which is, I mean, we see the quarterbacks in the NFL today. You have to have a little moxie to you.
Yeah, a little swag.
I keep getting game manager vibes from him. I keep getting head down, taking your lunch pail to work kind of guy, and doing what he's asked to do, which is kind of inspiring for the offense. You guys have talked about the defense. I think it's worth mentioning that Rashawn Gary is coming off a season-ending injury, and Jair has been hurt in the past, and we also have Eric Stokes, who the Packers had high hopes for.
I have a note on Stokes and Gary. They're still on the training camp PUP. What do you think they're going to get out of them? Will they be ready to go day one?
Well, I mean, this time of year, you have all these hopeful reports of they'll be ready. They're looking good. Yeah. They're on the sidelines. They're doing bike stuff. Everybody's looking good this time of year. Who knows when they'll actually be ready? Week 6. Give it week 6 to see how healthy they actually are. But I think Lucas Van Ness is actually going to be asked to do quite a bit opposite of Preston Smith, and that it sounds like he's looking good, but he also sounds like he's just got a bull rush, and that's pretty much where he stops. He's young. He's a young kid, so he's got a lot of room to grow. But if you're going to grow, you might as well do it on the field this year for the Green Bay Packers, because this is the time to make the mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, I think I certainly to me, Lucas Van Ness is like a super high floor rookie.
Yeah,
I do feel like he's going to be relatively productive, but maybe not super flashy. But maybe he is, assuming that his relationship to Frankie Komet doesn't get in the way of him pledging his allegiance to the Packers.
All right, let's talk schedule here. Let's go.
And real quick before we get to the schedule, I've accidentally fell into a deep hole in this team, and I just wanted to flush a couple other nuggets.
Yeah.
I came the GM Brian Kunst, is that how you say his name? AKA the arch rival to Aaron Rodgers over the last couple of years. I think he tried to get this guy, Aaron tried to get him fired at least once or twice. Anyway, if you go to his bio on the Packers page, it has all of his achievements, and it's very specific about the positive things they've done, like acquired veteran who went on to. Anyway, at the very bottom, it talks about his college football playing career at University of Wisconsin lacrosse, where he only played for a couple years before a quote shoulder injury cut his playing career short. You know you have power when you get that put into your bio.
In the team bio. I should have been out there. The shoulder injury got me.
How about this? You weren't good enough, and they offered you an assistant coaching. All right. Let's talk schedule.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, just glancing at youtube.com/sportsgaming podcast graphic with all the spreads up there. I mean, they're either favored or a dog. Like, there's no spread in the look ahead lines that is bigger than 5.5. That is the biggest spread either way, as a favorite or a dog. And most of them are like under. There's like 10 spreads that are 1.5 points. There are a bunch are 2.5. To what we're talking about is kind of like
schedule gets easier. A lot of teams that haven't had recent success on the schedule early, especially. So success could come early, which is always good for a team with questions. I'd also say, just macro take, I feel like Lambeau's getting a little disrespected in terms of home edge here with some of these numbers. All right, let's kick it off. First 4 weeks. Back-to-back road spot to start. That
it's not easy for a essentially kind of a rookie quarterback.
Maybe they're paying some debts from the past from Aaron Rodgers. Positive scheduling spots at Bears, at Falcons. Again, two defenses that weren't exactly good last year. Then you got the Saints coming to town, dome team coming to Green Bay, and Lions at home on Thursday Night Football. I mean, look, you can be optimistic here. You can be pessimistic here. I want to be mindful that I'm obviously going to be looking to take the Falcons at all costs when we get to them. But yeah, I mean, look, the Bears, you got to wonder, do the Bears see an opportunity now that their dad has left the division? aka Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, certainly going to be fired up week 1.
What are you doing here, Sean? Is it too bullish to go 3-1?
Yeah, I'm
2
gonna
and
go.
2.
I'm gonna go 2-2. Again, you have 2 road division games. Or sorry, no, you start off with back-to-back road games.
Yeah, and then
you got the Saints. I think they can beat the Saints, and then you have Lions at home on Thursday night. So, I think you probably go 1-1 in the road games and 1-1 on the home games. They might go 3-1. 3-1's in the realm of possibility. Play it a little close to the vest. I'm gonna go 2-2.
I'm interested to hear what TJ has.
TJ, what are you going here?
I'm going 3-1.
Ooh,
I'm going
there you
3-1 there. The Bears still have to score against the Green Bay Packers. They scored 29 total points against them last year. It was a game where they scored 10 and a game they scored 19. Justin Fields could run for 240 yards. It doesn't matter as long as it doesn't get in the end zone. I'm not afraid of Justin Fields, and I need to see it from the Bears. And you brought up those odds. It's disrespectful to the Packers as a franchise to have the Lions, Vikings, and the Bears favored over them.
So true.
It also points to the quarterback situation directly. And this is, if you're going to take value on any team in the NFL to win their division at plus 400 odds, it has to be the Green Bay Packers.
Holy shit. This is exciting.
TJ
and Sean,
mild mannered individual, but Ryan, he's getting me fired up.
Well, hold on, Sean. We've gotten this far in the episode. We are 4 games into us picking the schedule. First quadrant done. I don't think I gave a pick yet. I think I might have said 2-2, but TJ has me thinking 3-1. We haven't even mentioned Rich Bisaccia coaching the special teams.
Oh, really?
What do you mean? Oh, really?
Didn't you?
Let's go.
What did you say? I thought you said Rich Bisaccia was the 49ers.
No, that was Wilkes.
Wilkes. Okay.
Yeah, guys we like. Wilkes is a guy we like.
All right. Bisaccia is worth a game alone there. Give me 3-1.
Oh, I mean,
all right. Everyone's 3-1.
Bisaccia versus Derek Carr. There's going to be emotions just completely flying there. All right. 3-1. All right. Last thing I'll say before we move on. Are we at all worried that some of these teams could run the ball pretty well in this stretch and cause problems for the Packers' holy run defense? Or is that going to be fixed? Just the Falcons. The Falcons will have the elite rushing attack.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
All right. So 3-1.
And the Lions.
Right.
The Lions, I mean,
give me 2-2. I'm gonna
Detroit. It's different, but home on Thursday night is. I mean, they're a home dog Thursday night against the Lions.
3-1. 3-1.
Come on.
3-1. At next 4 at Raiders on Monday Night Football. Little mini bye there. Then you got the early bye week, which
not bad for a young quarterback.
Great. I would say very positive for them to get an early bye week. Then you have at Broncos,
which if you're going elevation, that's kind of the time you want that, right?
Just get out there early, right? Get into some of the product. Hopefully you're not betting on any sports. Just stay tuned for the MLD later on. Most likely DGen. All right. Then you have Vikings week 8 followed by Rams at home week 9.
This is a great example of what I mentioned earlier. 3 of these spreads are either plus 1.5 or minus 1.5. Like no one knows what to make of these.
No way.
If you're high on the Packers, they're a team that I would just go and bet every spread now, because if they flash early and they have a schedule where they could,
there's no way Rich Bisaccia loses to the Raiders.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Raiders I like. Broncos in non-conference road game in Mile High is a tough spot.
Real quick, the Packers play the Raiders. The Raiders have at Chargers the week before, and guess who they have the next week? Daddy Belichick and the New England Patriots sandwich spot.
And again, that Raiders game, while I think they do have extra rest coming off the Thursday night for Lions. Yeah. Again, it's a non-conference road game, but there's going to be a shit ton of Packers fans there. I know. Already, I've been talking to some Packers fans who be out in Sin City. I'm gonna go.
It's gonna be a fun time to be out there.
And you mentioned Rams too, Ryan. Last
one was the Rams.
I'm gonna say 2-2, just because I'm slightly higher on the Rams than most. I think they get the Vikings win. I think they get the Raiders win. I'm gonna 5-3 feels about right for the first 8 games, and maybe even a hair high.
I think they can get the Vikings at home. They'll lose the game to the Vikings later on in the season. I think they split with the Vikings. The Broncos game could be tricky. I'm not really sure on that one. Rich Bisaccia doesn't lose, and I don't know. I mean, I'm watching these Stetson Bennett highlights, And I'm watching the Rams have Braxton Burmeister run routes as a slot receiver. He was a quarterback in college. I don't know what to think about this Rams team. I know we were high on the Rams. You can't be high on all these teams, right? The Rams will be able to run. That's a LaFleur McVay game. There's so much drama on this schedule. 2-2.
I think
2-2.
I think the Rams win.
Oh wait, you think the Rams win that game?
I do, yeah.
I think I have to go 3-1 again.
Okay.
All right.
TJ, are you going 3-1, 2-2, 1-3? Where are you at?
I think I have to go 2-2 here.
Oh, no.
I think the Raiders are probably the worst team in football this year, record wise. Just a really bad division to be a part of with their current situation of everybody just being displeased. Primetime game at Raiders. That's gonna be a tough one though. I don't know where the losses are going to come from, honestly. I kind of wish that Rams game was on the road because that would be a default home game for the Packers. That isn't officially on the schedule.
Yeah, if you're playing the Rams at home, you're wasting a home game.
Exactly. The Broncos are just a tough team to gauge. I think it's 2 losses, and honestly, those 2 losses could come from any of those 4 games.
I apologize for not being more prepared, but Versace doesn't lose. The Broncos. Guess what? Guess what they have wrapped around this game?
Sandwich spot
with the Chiefs on both ends.
Woo.
They go at Kansas City on Thursday Night Football, so they do have a mini bye week, but then they have KC again week 8, so they play Kansas City week 6 and week 8. Interesting scheduling quirk there.
I'm staying with 2-2, but that is a great note.
Well, it gets worse. Then you look at what Minnesota has. Minnesota has San Francisco on Monday Night Football, then at Green Bay.
Wow.
Right. It doesn't end there, Sean. Then you have the Rams. Green Bay is a back-to-back road spot after the Cowboys.
Ryan, didn't you have to wear a Packers jersey?
Jordy Nelson. It's somewhere in here.
Find your Jordy Nelson jersey.
All right, I'll get it for the end of the show. I have a great MLD.
For your MLD. Come on.
I have a great MLD. All right. So did I just get to 4?
You're 6-2.
I might have just gotten to 4-0.
Oh, you're 6-2 with 3-1. Obviously, if you want to go 4-0, I can adjust it to 7-1.
I'll go 3-1. I'll be conservative. Next 4 at Steelers, Chargers, at Lions on Thanksgiving. I guess that's a win, but they already lost. Wow, both games they play against the Lions will be on Thursday. That's a fun fact. And then Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. This is a little bit of a stretch where we get a lot of Packers on prime time. Interesting. What do they know? Why do they know? Are the Packers going to be good? Do they know something? So this is the tougher stretch.
Brutal stretch.
This is a tough stretch for me. You do have the Chargers coming to potentially cold weather, outdoor, or soft warm weather team.
Chargers refusing to run. The Chargers defense. The Chargers are kind of like the Packers.
Yeah.
Almost a poor man's Packers, where they have a bunch of talent.
They're gonna, but the Chargers they go up to Green Bay. They're gonna lose that game. That's a classic. Chargers
at
loss,
Steelers, I think is a really tough spot for anyone, especially past September there. At Lions, ugh. I
think the Lions are going to win Thanksgiving.
I like the +4.5, but I don't know about winning outright. And then, Chiefs Sunday night. I think 1-3. I'm going 1-3. So a little tough spot for them.
The Steelers. This whole stretch is relatively tough. Though I will say the Green Bay game for the Steelers does fall right before a back-to-back Cleveland Cincinnati stretch, so not the easiest. But I do think there are 3 losses in here. I think so. We'll go 1-3. The Green Bay Packers come crashing down to earth. I almost want to go 4-0 and then 0-4.
Well, you got them 7-5, which feels realistic. I got them 6-6, which feels about right for this team.
What's TJ?
TJ, how say you here? This is a tough stretch.
This is a tough stretch, and it's funny that they put the Packers in prime time here after the soft start to the schedule. The storylines write themselves around the holidays here. They're in prime time. They're gonna pump up Jordan Love, and the Packers go through the toughest schedule stretch of their season. I'm going to go 2-2. The Chargers coming up to Green Bay. You might as well take that spread now. The Steelers. What's so different between the two teams? Between the Steelers and the Packers, the the Steelers get a lot of credit. I'm not really sure that they're too good. The Lions are going to lose 2 on Thanksgiving, and they're losing to the Chiefs.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I guess to me, the difference would be a guy by the name of TJ Watt. TJ Watt's on that field. I think that is a big difference. But to your point,
and George Pickens,
I could see
Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, they got 2
weapons.
They got some young receivers, much like the Packers do. They have a, I guess you've seen a little bit more out of Kenny Pickett, but again, still a bit of an unknown, much like Jordan Love. I think you have a coach who's shown the ability to win a bunch of games in the regular season, Mike Tomlin, LaFleur. So to TJ's point, I see how they're similar. I guess I would just give them the nod because they're at home, right? I mean, like it's a non-conference road spot. So
yeah, that's probably what.
But they are an interesting comparison.
And shout out to Kyle in the chat. He says, "Great show. God bless. Jesus is on the way." You probably want to check out the Carolina preview. We recorded that this morning. God bless Frank Reich and all of those folks down. All right, Deuce Staley and the crew. All right, last 5. Wait, so get me.
So wait, yeah. What was your? Do we get a number from you?
2 and 2.
Yeah,
2 and 2. Sorry.
Okay, so just so
you got you and Kramer and TJ are 2 and at 7 and 5. I'm at 6 and 6.
Oh, okay. Felt like I was a little higher.
Sounds about right.
All right, last 5. At Giants on Monday Night Football.
Win.
Bucks at home. At Panthers. At Vikings on Sunday night. Bears at home. I think they could sweep the Bears this season. I think they split with the Vikings. I don't really know what to think with the Panthers. I forget which I should look to see how I had them in the last quadrant of their schedule.
Giants are shams, but what do you got, Ryan?
I mean, look, the Giants did beat them last year, so there's a little revenge angle. This year, the game, instead of being in London, it's just in New Jersey, so slightly different setting. I would say if I had to pick a number for how many wins they would have in this stretch, there's 3 road games. I do think the 2 home games are win. Bucks warm weather team coming up to Green Bay. That feels like a good time to fade them. And I'll say that they pick up the Panthers. We'll say 1 and 4. Oh no, I'm sorry. 3 and 2. I can't. Do they lose? Maybe they lose all 3 of the road games. 2 and 3.
2 and 3. Okay.
Did I do it right? That's probably
2 and 3.
right.
You got them go 9 and 8, and I'm going to go 3 and 2. Probably the difference is the Giants game. I got that graded as a win for the Green Bay Packers. I couldn't tell you exactly. I do like them to beat the Giants. I do like them to beat the Panthers, and I think they get one other win with the division Vikings Bears. I think Bucks at home, they should win. I don't know. Maybe I could get to 4 and 1. I'm gonna keep it a little safe here. Go 3 and 2. Kramer and I coming in right at 9 and 8. TJ, you're sitting at 7 and 5. How do you see these last 5 games shaking out?
I got them at 2 and 3.
Okay. So we're all 9 and 8.
Let's go.
Which is over their win total by 1.5.
Right. You take the win total, but you take the division.
Yeah.
You definitely don't take them to make the playoffs with those 2 options available. It's funny because the Packers have a little bit of Notre Dame to them, because you're looking at these games and they should win 3 of them, but you know that they're going to screw up a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. You just don't know where it is. And that Bucks game is really looking at me sideways. I don't like it. I really don't like it. You get Baker Mayfield week 15 when it doesn't matter. He's going to pull out everything he has if he's still playing. And going down to Carolina, it seems, I don't know. It gets a little stinky down there.
Long grass.
It looks too easy. It looks too easy. 2
and it's a
3.
look ahead spot because you have at Vikings Sunday night coming
At
up
Vikings
right after
prime time, and you end the season with the Bears, and they're sweeping the Bears again. I mean, LaFleur owns the division. Let's not forget how he started the division. His first couple of years. What do you win his first? I don't have the number right off the top of my head. I think it was the first 10 of the 12 games that he had inside the division. Is that a real one? That might not be a real number. I know it's the first 8.
He
definitely the first 8.
Pretty dominant in the division, and I will agree. Like, I think just in general, when you look at the odds and you see a team like the Lions, a team like the Saints, a team like the Jacksonville Jaguars, Like certain so you just instinct the San Francisco 49 instincts just say, how do I fade this? How do I fade the Lions as a favorite to win the division?
Trevor in the YouTube chat saying 11-6, and then he said, good point on the Bucks Panthers trip up opportunities. 10-7 still.
Okay.
Serial has him going 7-10 overall. He's a Cowboys fan, so take that with a grain of salt. I think 9-8 kind of sounds right. I know TJ said he likes the division at +400. We all like the over 7.5 wins. I feel like that's pretty good. Ryan, you mentioned, how do you fade Detroit? Kind of not feeling the Bears as much. I think Fields is interesting fantasy wise, but I'm taking a look at this market. Packers, Minnesota, 1-2.
Oh, a little boxed, exacta box.
Try a little exacta box.
Okay.
Either or, but they're the top two teams. +750. I like that. I'm gonna add that to my queue.
I think I may join you.
Okay,
that sounds.
I'm selling
fun.
Kramer. Are you also going to get down on Green Bay to win the division at +400? Because you could win both.
I like the division bet better, actually.
Okay, I'm gonna go on the division as well.
Actually, I like the way that it gives me that. I'm playing the
double.
I'm playing the win and the exacta. I like that.
I'm gonna go division at +400, and then also the exacta. But again, you could hit like if Minnesota wins and Green Bay wins the division, you still cash that +750.
Yeah,
you would obviously lose the division bet, but still you would come out a nice little bump. I like the idea of fading the Lions and Bears right now.
Yeah,
just because the market seems to be hyping them up a little too much. Oh, Earl in the YouTube chat says Packers 5-12, not feeling it.
Wow.
At all.
Okay.
So
everyone's entitled to their opinion here.
Yeah, that's what's great about the offseason. You cannot be wrong. You have 40 days to not be wrong about any of your NFL season predictions, unless it was like Tim Patrick to have an amazing year. Just there's some stuff you could be wrong at this point, but
just screenshot stuff. So when say Bears fans start coming at you when they're 2-3.
Oh yeah.
3-win team. Fuck you. You're stupid. 3-14 3-14, bitch.
You nailed it. That was a great prediction. TJ, any other props you like? Any other futures? How far do you have this team going? You said you don't like the +180 to make playoffs. That's not as appealing to you?
No, because I think they can still go over the win total and not make the playoffs. And if they're going to make the playoffs, it's going to be as the division winner. That's we go back to the variance thing. I don't even hate under 6.5 or under 5.5.
Yeah.
If you want to, kind of root against them, which is fine. The barometer of success this year for the Green Bay Packers is whether or not Jordan Love is an actual quarterback. That's kind of a hard stop. Yeah, it's kind of a hard stop of determining what they're going to do. The expectations for the last 13 years have been through the roof, and it's kind of nice to not go into the year expecting to win the Super Bowl because they can't let you down. I just think that you try to find out that Jordan Love's your quarterback. You try to establish some type of identity on offense that isn't 60-40 pass, even though it's dominated by passing quarterbacks, obviously. But this team isn't built for that. You hope your defense can gel, and you hope you have competitive division games. The division is obviously growing with Detroit as the favorite this year, but the Packers still run the North until they don't.
That.
They're 4-2 against the division last year, and that was a down year. That's a bad year for them. And let's just look at the point totals that they gave up to division opponents last year: 23 to the Vikings in a loss, 10 to the Bears in a win, 15 and it's 15 to the Lions. Didn't the Lions have a high-powered offense last year? Wow, it's kind of funny how these division games kind of work out themselves. 19 to the Bears.
I like TJ's just like mild mannered trash talking. It's great.
It's very calm. I like it.
And then 17 and 16 to the Vikings and the Lions again. The Packers are definitely keeping receipts this year.
Let's go. As far as like player props, obviously Luke Musgrave numbers have not hit the market yet, but I will be on board on some Luke Musgrave. I do like, I'll give you this, Luke Musgrave, week 1 DFS, $2,900. You could just lock that up against that Bears defense. Come on. Let's go. Making bacon all the way down from New Zealand. Love this guy.
Down
true,
under, nice.
true DGen checking in. This is why the internet's awesome. A guy in New Zealand making bacon is wanting to know about AJ Dillon over 700.5 rushing yards. TJ, I'll let you handle that question. Over under on Dillon rushing yards.
Everything says he should go over, and here's why they're not. They're going to slow the game down. They're not going to have as many plays run. They're going to have long possessions. It's going to be boring as a fan that is not a fan of the two teams playing that Sunday. Aaron Jones is a guy that's going to get if 875.5. He should be a 1,200 yard rusher if they actually use him right. AJ Dillon will be the guy that you look at between Halloween and the New Year. When it gets cold, when teams are sore, when teams are beat up, short yardage downs, he will spell Aaron Jones. But you're looking at a team that's going to run single back, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers on the outside. I just don't think they're going to have enough plays. AJ Dillon might average 6.5 yards a carry, but I just don't think they're going to have enough plays for him.
Yeah, no, it is weird. I mean, especially if they run a bunch of 12 personnel, you got Watson, you got Dubs, you got Aaron Jones, you got, the 2 tight ends. It just seems like, to your point, yeah,
that's the most certain thing. Is
I mean, if you're looking
slow.
to play Dillon, maybe play touchdowns, but I
think
know.
the way you do it is that, I mean, I saw you can take, you can play it against the rest of the division. I know Aaron Jones is like plus 350 to have the most rushing yards in the North, which, by the way, I meant to mention this. Packers to sweep the Bears is 3-1.
Ooh,
put that on my sheet. Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
What are we doing
DJ
here?
with the hands up. What's going on
Put that
here?
on my sheet. And then, so Aaron Jones plus 350 to lead the division in rushing. AJ Dillon 7-1. You can probably talk yourself into that one. Aaron Jones, maybe something happens health wise. AJ Dillon's the guy. He's going to walk away with that at 7-1. I don't know. I'm kind of with TJ though. I don't know if I want to play any of the player props, because it seems like if anything, they're going to play slow.
Yeah.
It's going to lead to unders. I would actually, thing I would do, because I like what you guys were saying earlier about, like, they might, if they suck, they might suck really hard. I think you can get them worst record 22-1. You really wanted to bottom out, but what if we went to the interception market?
Oh, because Jordan Love does have a long leash, but how many attempts is he
I'm going
get?
the other way.
Oh, okay.
The idea that if you're a quarterback and you're playing for a team like this, it's going to limit the number of
game manager,
and you're going to limit the number of, like, you're straight up. I'm looking for the number. You're limiting the number of attempts. You're limiting the times that you need to put the ball in harm's way. I mean, it just happened with Daniel Jones, right? They essentially were we'll call it a more conservative approach, which led to a shorter ADOT. But the goal was to not put the ball in harm's way.
Don't blow it.
12.5 is his number.
Ooh, I'm under,
which is the same as Dak Prescott.
I'm under
for reference points.
And yes, feel free to keep tagging us in all the Dak interception training camp videos. Inject those into my veins. Love those things.
I put that out, Sean.
Yeah.
A lot of people quote tweeting me because I basically just said plus 1,000 for Dak to lead the league in interceptions. With that horrible interception to Malik Hooker in training camp, and boy, people loving that. We have the same card basically, huh?
Yeah, no, pretty. I like
similar. How you put a DFS play on the card.
Just crowbar that in. Yeah, you had this sweep of the Bears. That didn't make my sheet. I like the angle. Again, division games. It's not. I'm not going to go crazy.
After Bears fans pulled that mean trick on nice guy Jordan Love, and that cameo went viral, the Bears, like, they're celebrating that.
Yeah,
that's not a good look. Bears fans
are feeling themselves a little bit too much after a 3-14 season. Again, I like
that's
Justin
tough.
Fields'
We're dating
fantasy.
your sisters.
That's
literally
that's the other side.
It sounds like
actually.
something you would write on like a banner at a high school football game, but this is actually true.
Lucas Van Ness is literally fucking Cole Kmet's sister.
We're fucking your family members.
Oh man,
deal with it, Bears.
Oh man.
So what are you going to come back to? It's a tough one to get back from. All right, is it time?
Yeah,
I think it is. Everyone's favorite MLD, most likely DGen for the Green Bay Packers. Kramer, do you want to start?
Happy to go last because
Okay.
I'm feeling
You
pretty.
feel like you got a good one?
I feel pretty.
Your Panthers one, I really like.
I do have. I came with multiple.
TJ, you are the guest. Who do you think is most likely to be busted?
Which, before you start, very clean. It's a clean team. It's harder to find stuff on the Packers, I will say.
Yeah.
Man, this is tough. It's
Well, I was giving it serious thought here.
they really pride themselves on character.
Yeah.
Well, the gambling isn't a low character thing in my mind. But yeah, I see what you mean.
I can say this is one of my most favorite segments that you guys have added. Thanks to the chat, but yeah, I have no idea with the Packers, man. It's never gonna happen. Nobody on this team's gonna get popped for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're good.
Okay,
you have something in mind. You take it away.
No, I have some filler. I have some filler information about this high character franchise. Did you know the Packers will be the only team that is ever owned like they are, because the NFL now has a rule on the books that an NFL team cannot have more than 32 owners.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So the idea of having a public team will never happen again.
So there goes that dream, listeners. Sorry, we're not going to own a team.
And I've never actually looked into Green Bay Packers stock.
Yeah.
So the way it works is basically they sell stock whenever they need to raise money for some new concessions or whatever at the stadium, new scoreboard. They haven't sold stock since 2012. This financial advisor called buying a stock in the Green Bay Packers, quote, the worst investment you can make.
I thought it was just like a ceremonial thing.
It is.
Okay. Yeah.
But you do have to pay for it.
But it's like buying the naming rights to a star, right? Like,
it gets
better. Sure. We'll call it.
So you can't actually buy stock from someone else. When you buy stock in the Green Bay Packers, part of the agreement is that you have a legally binding agreement that you cannot sell the stock. You
Sounds
can only,
like a great investment.
You can only sell it back to the Green Bay
right
Packers
up there with Dogecoin
for a fraction of what you paid for it. Talk about most likely to be the DGen.
Oh, it's the company, the team itself.
Wow. And this is where it gets fun.
Okay.
Because the president of the Green Bay Packers,
Ted Thompson.
No.
Oh wait, who is it now?
No,
Ted
Thompson used to be the GM. The president, the guy who represents all these owners, Mark Murphy.
Oh, Murphy. Yeah.
Yeah. You know where he went to, you know what he did before he did this job? I'll give you one guess what he was doing before he was running the Green Bay Packers. You're never going to, if you're driving, you might want to pull over. I've connected some dots here. He was the athletic director at Northwestern. Holy shit. Anyway, but that's not actually. And by the way, he led the NFL in interceptions. Played for the Redskins. NFL interceptions leader, 1983. Was actually there when they promoted Pat Fitzgerald, but was not there when they hired Pat Fitzgerald. That would have been my honorary mention.
Okay.
Do you want to go before I?
Sure.
I have like two more guys. I have at least two more guys.
All right, give one to TJ. Maybe TJ could have the.
Well, Sean Clifford, I thought was I would have guessed TJ was coming with Sean Clifford because Sean Clifford created his own NIL collective.
Oh yeah,
you know this?
He was going to try and unionize the college football players.
Hustler,
little skim, little on the take.
You're making an NIL collective. You're learning how to move money. You probably dealing with a little crypto, so that would have been an honorary mention for TJ. We'll throw that on the sheet.
This is the in honor of Colby Dant, who is going to be an honorary Packers fan this year because the Green Bay Packers signed USFL MVP Alex McGough. First off, guy comes in with a badass arm sleeve of tats, DGen behavior right there, and. Listening to this, apparently Alex McGough doesn't sleep. Quote, coffee is my best friend. I always beat my alarm. He said, without fail, I can set it at 4 a.m. I wake up 2 minutes before. This guy sounds like, I don't know whatever he's doing, but he sounds like a guy who likes to, and he's from Florida. He went to FIU. He went to high school in Tampa, Florida, where sports gambling is not legalized yet. AKA he had some local guys. Give me Alex McGough and the Stallions to and I know the USFL. If you remember my ATS record,
it was very good.
Very good.
All right, here's my actual one.
Sure.
Which some might think the Mark Murphy one's better, but he's the president. I was gonna say just all the owners, because every single one of the technically, if you own part of the Packers, you can't gamble. Which I have a feeling those guys are dropping their parlays on the regular. All right, so I have it's a little trivia, Sean. I figured this will be fun for you. This most likely to be a DGen. His father once worked as an Uber driver.
Okay.
I'm guessing you don't know who it is yet.
Well, this is weird because is a guy on the team and his dad worked as an Uber driver.
Yes.
Okay.
He's currently on the team. His dad worked as an Uber driver. His dad also is an active member of the House of Representatives.
This is annoying because I'm going to know it once you say it, but
he, as part of that responsibility, he sits on the Congressional Brain Injury Caucus, so could be anti-football. He's from New Jersey, which a lot of my guys are from Jersey with the Sopranos theme. He also has the fifth longest. He has the streak for the fifth longest consecutive starts for an offensive lineman. The dad.
So not David Bakhtiari.
No, the dad.
Oh, the dad.
The son also plays offensive line.
Okay. Can I look up the offensive line?
He played for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, Runyon.
And Michael Strahan owns him like a bitch. Yeah. So just wanted to bring that up.
Oh yeah.
John Runyon Jr. His dad is a politician from New Jersey.
Yes.
AKA the place that legalized sports gambling for all of us. And I thought it was interesting that what is John Runyon like? This is where it stood out to me. The family could be involved in some stuff, maybe some collections. Why is a sitting member of the House of Representatives driving Uber?
Ryan, get out there, shake some hands, grease some.
That seemed a little strange to you.
Also John Runyon.
This is like when Derek had a guy call the cage and ask for some money to give to the fire department. Yeah, cool, but what are you doing?
I gotta look up what John Runyon.
Anyway, John Runyon Jr. part of the offensive line.
John Runyon career earnings. He was in the league forever.
Also, probably the best back to head hair connection in the history of the NFL. Runyon
made like 16 million. What the hell's he? It must be like a publicity stunt. I'm out there shaking hands, talking to average Americans.
Remember when the Sopranos got into the outdoors sports store business?
Yeah, get a little athletic here.
Sometimes things fall in your lap.
Exactly. TJ. Hey man, thanks for hopping on the show. And let's just rattle off the bets. We're all in the over 7.5 wins. TJ, big advocate for the division at 4-1. We're co-signing that. Kramer and I like the Packers Vikings exacta box at plus 750. Kramer has the Bears to get swept by the Packers at plus 300. We also both like Jordan Love under 12.5 interceptions, and we all three of us have the record going 9-8. I have Alex Magoo as my MLD. Kramer went with John Runyon Jr. We assigned TJ Sean Clifford. Enjoy that pick, TJ. And that'll do it for the show, man. We got more team previews, bonus college episode in the works, and Hall of Fame game picks coming up. Of course, the NFL win totals contest just dropped for the patrons. sportsgamingpodcast.com/Patreon. Give TJ a follow on Twitter at Chalk Exchange. Where else can people check you out there, TJ?
No, just follow me on Twitter. I'll be putting some nonsense out there. I like to be behind the scenes mostly, but if you want to follow me, you click that button right there.
Let's go. Get in, get on the TJ train. Does great work here for the Sports Gambling Podcast. Appreciate you guys as always for tuning in, spreading the word, taking down corporate gambling one download at a time.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
These coaches, we have to investigate. Robert Saleh was the best man's at LaFleur's wedding. Like, what the fuck, guys?
Kramer, let it ride.